There's a middle school in Middletown, New Jersey called Thorne Middle School, and they just decided to unnecessarily complicate and escalate an issue with a transgender student that they have. So according to APP, they say, quote, they refuse to allow a transitioning transgender student to return to school using her new gender identity. So Rachel Pepe is her name. She attended the middle school last year under her birth name, Brian. But when she tried to register for classes with her new name and new gender identity, the school district officials told her she would have to, quote, return to Thorne dressed as and answering to Brian. So Rachel said she, quote, realized I wanted to be a girl. I sort of felt something was missing, that something was wrong. And her mother is claiming that this is the worst move the school can make because it will probably lead to, quote, a recurrence of the crippling depression that she suffered with last year. She would get off the bus and just cry. Then she would go to sleep for 17 or 20 hours and refuse to go back there. So, look, when I read this story, I was thinking of what to make of it, and I came to the conclusion that I think this is child abuse. Because who are you? Okay, you're the school. So what? You know what you can tell kids to do? Vaccinate. That's about it. You don't want to start, a pandemic because one dumbass anti-vax parent fucks everything up. But there's no threat of like, oh, what are you going to spread your transgender identity? Is that contagious? No, of course not. And it's not a problem, right? But they're so arrogant and they're so deluded that they think, well, no, she might cause people to look at her or question things. So what? So what? So what? Look, I got news for people at schools, at businesses, or wherever in society that may not approve of gay people or transgender people or what have you. The reality is, of course they didn't ask to be like that. Of course they didn't. Who would choose to want to get bullied more, want to get questioned more, want to go through hell in this way? No, there's somebody, you have to feel it at your core to take the step in reality to do something like that. So why shouldn't we as a society treat them as nice and as good and as understanding as possible given the situation that they struggle with something that we don't struggle with and never had to? I mean, how arrogant is it of me? I'm a straight white male. Oh yeah, society's had their boot on my neck throughout history, right? How arrogant is it of me to like make life harder for somebody just to go to school and do everyday things because they are a female internally, but they were born as a male? I mean, that's mortifying to me. No, obviously you should treat them as nice as possible, as kind as possible, as gentle as possible. Treat them like everybody else. Allow them to be whoever they want to be. I mean, if somebody comes to school with a guy with long hair, you don't go, hey, that doesn't fall in line with everybody else. You're slightly different. Go home. But that's the argument that's used for treating transgender people like this. It's, you're slightly different from what we're used to, and that threatens us. Go away. Who cares if they're slightly different? Who cares? Everybody's different in one way or another, whether it's the size and shape of our noses or how often we shower or the music we listen to or how we dress or whatever. But we single out specific ones when it comes to sex because we're so repressed and scared of sex that we're like, ooh, something with the naughty parts is different, so, oh, we can't have you here. But it's just a person trying to go to school. Can you be open-minded for a second? Can you think about it? Look, it's not asking that much, man. All they're saying is, can she be who she really is at school, please?